It's T Lee's Tea, and hopefully all eyes are on me. Hey, friends, how y'all doing? So, I was supposed to be out there in Detroit yesterday, but I didn't make it to the fight. But I was able to watch the fight on social media. And congratulations once again to the GOAT who defended her. I mean, she put them things, you put them paws on Fran Chun. You put them paws on her, Clarissa. I mean, it was a good fight, and it looked like it was an interesting fight because she was fighting back. Yeah, it was one particular time that she had Clarissa Shields in the corner, but the GOAT showed why she was the GOAT. She was able to bob and weave, and turn that little situation around. And maybe I wasn't supposed to be there. I see Lucy walked her out, and I was going backwards and forwards with somebody, and I was like, I bet you they come out to set it off. And she did set it off. So once again, Clarissa Shields, congratulations. And I know they had like a little beef on the internet, so it was great to see the two ladies at the end of the fight. People can say what they want to say about Clarissa Shields, but you can't make me hate her because she showed what true sportsmanship was at the end by looking like, her and her opponent, they squashed whatever beef that they had. Speaking of beef, I saw where T.I.'s son and 50 Cent and his dad, they all getting into it, and golly. I mean, one thing that I don't like is when people get on the internet and just talk about people, you know what I'm saying? That reminds me of like high school and bullying and stuff, and it's just like social media is like, it takes it to a whole nother level. I'm from the South, and I remember when Pimp C was like, it's money to be made if everybody could just get together, you know what I'm saying? And you guys are both making your money. But in addition to that, I know a lot of men don't like to listen to what women have to say, even though we know you get your name and your game from a woman. I want to say this. You guys both have children and now grandkids. It's time out for all that extra stuff. I mean, look who we really should be getting down on. Look where our attention really should be. Not on each other. We were pitted to go against one another. Your bro ain't your op, and your sis ain't your op either. I started saying this years ago, and Clarissa, you were a prime example of your sis ain't your op, because even though you guys said what you guys wanted to say, you guys were able to come together as women at the end. You know what I'm saying? Y'all both made y'all money. Everybody had fun. I mean, everybody enjoyed it, and you showed us at the end that, okay, just because we said such and such, that don't mean we can't stand up, because we have an enemy that's bigger than us, guys. And I don't know if you're paying attention to these Epstein files, but they are crazy. Now, people want to say allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly all day long, and this is for entertainment purposes only. But I do want to say, if there's any validity to anything that's on those files and those papers, I'm going to show you some stuff. If there's any validity to this, I've been asking for years, where are all these kids? How are all these kids going missing? And I know years ago, I was young. I want to say I was maybe around 17 or 16. I remember watching a show. I can't say if it's 2020. It was something to that effect, or like 60 Minutes. But don't quote me. I don't recall which one. But I remember seeing little girls, and they were like 5 and 4 and 5 and 6 years old over in the Philippines and Thailand and places like that. And these prominent figures and suits, they're flying over there to do, and who else knows what. Now we're starting to see. This was a worldwide event. And I saw where the people over there in Saudi Arabia, they marched right on down there to their president's palace and was like, come on up out of here. He actually had gave part of some kind of quilt, allegedly to Epstein, and it was on his wall. They over there on that man, the guy over there in India, they dead on his butt too. It's sad and it's ridiculous, but you know the word speaks about that when you talk about, you know, it's better to tie a millstone around your neck than to mess with God's children. You know what I'm saying? But it's like this all was connected in a way, but I knew even from the Diddy aspect that there was something greater to this story than what was meeting the eye. And you would always hear Jaguar Wright say, "Yeah, but such and such is worse," and da 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 and da da da. But I have no clue. I just, if this is true, I don't know why nothing's being done by it. This is boggles my mind. But you know, people have become complacent with a lot of things. I've seen two young black men. I don't know their names right offhand, but I'm gonna post their picture. But they've lost their lives while surrendering, not putting up any resistance on camera. So we're sort of desensitized. And then it makes you wonder, what is in our food? Does it make us complain? If you can put something in the food that to make a male grow breasts, then you can put something in the food to make somebody complacent. Or you can put it in some kind of jab or anything like that. I'm just saying. Because people are acting like nothing's going on. And the craziest thing about it is we need to know who is doing what and who's not doing what. You understand? Because yeah, you can paint a picture. I remember when Michael Jackson was like one of my favorite people of all time, and also he also had vitiligo, um, fly hiking. But I remember when the whole world was against him and they painted this picture that he was just doing all this stuff to these kids. But hindsight is 2020. He looks like he was actually protecting the kids, and his songs were more like heal the world, make it a better place. You know, he was on some stuff like that. So it's all making sense because I remember the little guy they said that Michael had did something to. He was later unalive, but he had got on camera and said that they tried to pay his mom to make him say that allegedly, but that Mike had never did anything. But Mike was he was reaching out and opening up about some things that he knew. And I'm thinking all those artists that came up cut short or some things of that nature, yeah, they might have knew too much. And it's ridiculous because who do you go to? Who do you go to in situations like this? Who do you go to, America, when the top people are corrupt? Yeah, Yahuwah is who we go to. And he's going to make sure all of this is straightened out. Mark my words. This is a battle against good and evil. When you claim one side is racist, you got to look the other side is just as racist. And they're all being controlled by the same entity, the fake one that the Bible speaks about. They're all being controlled by the same thing. And they say, oh, we're going to separate the church from the state. But you never actually separate the church from the state when the state and the they actually control that and what's being said, just like everything else. But I've noticed that, oh, another thing that was in those files, allegedly, that there is a cure for cancer. And while we've been watching our brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers pass away from cancer, they actually had a cure a long time ago. But you know, it's always a conspiracy theory when you say anything with big, you know, with the pharmaceuticals or anything. But you had a cancer, you had a cure this whole time. I ain't gonna lie, when you go in the and you see that, it looks like a, I don't know, a puppy mill, and that's sad. And those people are suffering, and you had a cure the whole time.